Hey there. If you're new, welcome to the way station, and if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Leo, and I will be your guide, your shaman, whatever you want, whatever you want to call it. So this will be a reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising for the month of August 2019. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I already have the cards out because I've tried to record this video like 3 times. Um, but yeah, regardless of all that, let's get right into it. So the first card that we have out in regards to like Oracle to give us some sort of general overlook of how this energy is going to be playing out, how to best navigate through this energy, we have Hexagram 56. And I will go ahead and read the description right now. So Hexagram 56 is called the Wanderer. And it's interesting the imagery and the wording that they use because it's very on brand for Scorpio. But yeah, so the Wanderer. Above fire, below mountain. Fire on the mountain. Temporary influences. Fire burns over the surface of the mountain, destroying whatever is in its path and then moving on. The long life of the mountain is not greatly changed by this. Thus, a wanderer may have an immediate effect on those he encounters, but any lasting effect will be determined by other factors. Those who remain must be stable and enduring as the mountain, so that life can continue as before. So, this card is really, really interesting, and I would say personally it's very interesting because I'm a Scorpio Sun, Venus, Chiron, Juno, Lilith, all in the first house. So I'm very much so in touch with my Scorpio energy. Um, but what I'm feeling from this card is that as a collective, as a Scorpio collective, we've had to do so much releasing and so much letting go, um, that on one hand we feel as though it's changed us at the core of our being. Like we've just had to do so much getting rid of the things that didn't work that um in some cases we may have even felt that we threw the baby out with the bathwater. Like through all the shedding and the cleansing, we in turn lost a part of ourselves, um, lost our depth, lost our um, ability to both feel things deeply and articulate the depth of that feeling. Um, Regardless of what the case may be, coming into August, this is going to be a time where we're going to be shown how, even though we've had to do all of this, I guess, editing when it comes to our life, that the core of who we are, being someone or being a being that is extremely sensitive, that loves extremely deeply, that feels things very, very deeply, all of that is being brought back to the forefront. We're being made to realize once again that we do have feelings, that we can be vulnerable, that we can go deep with people. Because that's sort of been a common theme for at least Scorpio placements that I've been talking to. We just collectively feel as though we can't go as deep as we used to be able to, only because in order to reach that certain level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Being immersed in our emotions, we had to experience it through pain. Like that was the only way we could access our depth at all, was through pain. But now it's going to be showing us, or at least this month will be showing us how we can still feel things as deeply. We just don't have to feel them through that filter of, oh, the reason why I can feel everything is because everything hurts. It's like, nah, we moving past that now. And with the cards that we got, it kind of makes sense. So, first two cards we have out, Judgment and then the King of Cups. These are really, really interesting in the sense that with the Judgment card, everything that has been buried, everything that has been hidden, everything that has been denied and neglected is being brought to the forefront now. And that which has been denied and neglected and rejected, for one, is us as a being, as the King of Cups, because the Scorpio, not regardless of gender, I mean, is someone who feels everything, but at the same time keeps it to themselves. They're not really open or expressive with how much they do feel because of how overwhelming that can be both for themselves and for other people. Um, it's like, although you are the living heart, you hide it. But August is going to be a time where we won't be able to hide it anymore. It's like that cloak of invisibility gets snatched off. And everyone will be able to see, for one, how you really feel, which can be scary. Because how you really feel, Scorpios know how we can be. We know how we can be when we be in love with people or we be in love with certain situations and things of that nature. It's just we know how crazy we can get. We know how admiration can turn into obsession very quickly. That's going to be brought to the forefront. That's going to be what's being shown to people. And while yes, it can be terrifying for someone who, although their heart is on their sleeves, they wear long sleeves all day. It's like, although it can be scary for somebody that does shit like that, with the Nine of Swords and the Sun, on one hand, you won't be able to stop it. Like, there is no running into your cave or putting a veil over your face. Like, there's no more being able to do that. Excuse me. But on the other hand, although it may seem terrifying at first, letting people in, letting people really see you, like actually see you, like the you that is up at 1 and 2 in the morning, writing all those different like hopeless romantic poems, or the type that loves like the romantic comedies, just to give like on the stereotype thing how Scorpio will probably be like Wednesday from the Addams Family. It's like, yeah, Wednesday was Wednesday the character was your sort of outward appearance, but in reality it's like, what's another character that's super fucking gushy? It's like you really Bubbles in this bitch. Like from the Powerpuff Girls, like you're really like that really sensitive type being. Just, I think y'all get what I'm trying to say. It'll pay off. Letting people see that side of you, letting people know how much you care, it's going to start to pay off for you, whether you realize that or not. Because I know a lot of Scorpios, we like to do the whole, oh, I don't give a fuck, or that doesn't really bother me, or I'm just nonchalant, so do what you want to do. I'm not going to really be too shifted or bothered by it. We like to portray that can't be phased type of energy, when in reality, the smallest things will fuck us up. Yeah, I mean, having people see that about you can be terrifying, but it's gonna pay off. With the Sun card, it's gonna pay off. Let people see that you have a heart. Stop trying to brush shit off, because that may be a reason why things didn't work out for you in the past. People thought that you really just didn't care about them when you were so afraid to care that you just, when Wednesday Addams. It's like the time for all of that is out. Now, next two cards we have out are the Page of Swords and the Seven of Cups. And I like this because, on one hand, while the Seven of Cups can represent that sort of emotional disparity, I hope that's the right word, or just not being able to know how you really feel about things, or just trying to choose the best route to go in, based on how you feel, not being sure of that, just all of that confusion type energy where things just don't make sense. Or, well, yeah. The way that I'm interpreting it with this energy, with the Page of Swords, is that, Scorpio, there are a lot of different things that you want to invest yourself into, that you want to put your heart into, because not because but mainly just because you care about them. There are things out there that you want to do simply because you want to do them. And even if it's not simply because you want to do them, it's because it's just something that you have been wanting to do for so long, whether that be talk to this person that you're in love with, whether it be go after this job opportunity, whether it be making that song, or building that website, or just whatever the case, like whatever desires that you have that you want to pursue, but you've been too afraid to pursue because you didn't think it would work out for you just because of quote unquote who you are. Now you finally get the chance to explore those options. Because where in the past you had to be extremely selective about the things that you did, especially while Saturn was in Scorpio, um, now is a time where you get more freedom when it comes to trying new things and stuff like that. See, my ears starting to ring. That's kind of why I'm going a little bit slow. But yeah, because with the Ace of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Empress here, it's a brand new start that's actually substantial. It's actually something that you can work with, um, something that you can make tangible, or something that is tangible. It's just that new beginning is here for you, and it's something that's here to stay. It's something that's here for you to build off of, and for you to use that Phoenix Force, like Jean Grey, to create water out of dust, to create life out of death. Um, it's finally time for Scorpios as a collective to step out of the archetype where we have to burn down everything. Is that a spider? Thought it was. Yeah, it's just time to shift from being the one that destroys everything to being the one that alchemizes that energy and is able to make life out of it, to create life out of it. It's quite literally going from being um, the Scorpion to the Phoenix. Because if you study like the different archetypes of Scorpio, the Scorpion, it has no issue with stinging people and constantly just moving on, like creating death and then moving on to the next thing. Like that's kind of what it said with the I Ching Oracle card. Thus, a wanderer may have an immediate effect on those he encounters. Like we're used to being that element that floats in and out of people's lives when they need some sort of grand change to happen. Like we're used to being the tower moment in people's lives. But now it's time for us to step out of that role and step into this role with the Ace of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Empress, just as someone who can have everything that they want and be successful in it and actually be able to hold on to it. Something that actually creates a lasting change and not just something that happens overnight and then you have to rebuild after it. It's like, nah, no longer will you have to be the natural disaster. You get to be the cleanup crew, the ones that reset the foundation, the ones that actually build something new after everything has been cleared out. Because you deserve it. You've done the work. You've understood what it means to be the change agent. Now it's time for you to experience what it means to use those lessons to build something great. Now, if this is in regards to love, with the Queen of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups coming out, the only thing, for one, that will stop you at all from really enjoying this new beginning in its entirety is your emotions and your feelings about it. Because this just, with the Judgment card being the first card out, it just really seems as if you won't be able to stop all the good that's coming into your life. You really won't be able to self-sabotage it. You won't be able to run away from it because it's going to chase you. I mean, not chase you in the sense that it's something scary. It's like all of your blessings are going to chase you, so you won't be able to get away from them, no matter how overwhelming they are. But what you can do is make it harder on yourself by constantly looking at how things used to be, whether that be being fixed in the sense that, oh, but I wanted to have this person. Damn, this 6'2" supermodel that wants to be with me. Like, fuck them. I wanted to be with that person. Meanwhile, that person don't really give a fuck about you. They probably the reason why your credit bad. I'm just bullshitting, but Scorpio, just let go. Let go of the past, whether it was good, bad, whatever the fuck. Just fuck it. Leave it alone. Um, because again, the only thing that'll be hindering you is your feelings about it. Your own mind. You'll be the one that gets in the way of you having anything real, especially in regards to love. Because with the Queen of Cups to come out with the King of Cups as well, for one, that's counterparts, and two, with the Three of Pentacles in between it, you have the opportunity to build something very, very real here. Something that will be extremely healthy for you, as well as something that will stand the test of time. And I know, like, hearing that will initially make you be like, man, nah, I ain't fucking with that. That sound good, but love don't really play out for me like that. Like, that's the mindset that will stop you from having this. Push past it. If you know that you're gonna, well, for one, if you already know that things are gonna work out for you, whether you want them to or not, whether you feel like they will or not, if you know that, then you also know, and you can also anticipate the fact that, especially when it comes to love, you have certain triggers that will just make you not believe it's what it is, or it's not real. Anticipate that, and then push past it, because Scorpio, you have too many good things here for you and ready to present themselves, both in pretty much just in a holistic type of worldview right now. Everything is being cared for, everything is being handled, everything is being fixed for you, basically. You just have to trust it and not be afraid to invest in it when it shows up. Don't be scared of that shit. Scorpios, you reckless anyway. Just jump right into it. Don't be afraid to be don't be afraid to be you in every sense of the word. Just don't be afraid to just don't be afraid to be you, Scorpio. I don't even think I would be able to explain that if I could. All the parts of you that you be like, nah, I can't do that. Nah, I shouldn't do that. Nah, I can't feel like this. Why am I feeling like this? Like, all of that. Let it go. Move past it. It's time for you to have a better life. Yeah. And I think that's all I have for you. Forgive me if the energy wasn't as high as it normally is. I am recording this at like, I want to say it's like 2 a.m. right now. But yeah, again, if you like to book a personal reading, I'll leave all my links and things below. I also leave my social media things down there as well. I'm pretty active on Twitter and Instagram, so you can follow me and, you know, keep up with my day-to-day or whatever if that's something you want to do. But I will see y'all later. Peace.